We have arrived at the popular Suzuka International Racing Course in the Mai Prefecture for the running of the Japanese Grand Prix, the final Far East Asian race of the season. Coming into this week, 2 teams and 3 drivers have been making all of the headlines this week. The first team news of today comes in from Manor, as the team have announced their driver lineup for 2019. They have announced that 2017 GP2 runner-up Maxim Titkov will remain with the team for another season, and current DTM Championship leader Rosetta Martinez will make his top-class debut with the team in 2019. Maxim has had quite a mixed season with a lot of good points happening throughout the season. He currently lies last in the championship, being the only driver so far this season not to score a point, and his team Manor lie last in the constructors, 24 points behind the nearest team, Williams. The fact that he hasn't scored a point this season compared to his current teammate Etienne Jones isn't a true reflection of his pace. A good example of this came last week at Russia, where he was destined to finish 7th at his home race and as a result get his first ever points in the top class before his suspension let him down with 2 and a bit laps to go. Maxim will be relieved to still be in the top class next year, and he will be looking to continue the pace that he has shown this year. In terms of his future teammate Rosetta Martinez, he has had an amazing year in DTM, despite this only being his second season in the OC as a whole. He currently leads the DTM Championship with a golden opportunity to win it next week at the finale at Monza, having taken 3 wins during the course of this season at Aragon, Budapest and the Red Bull Ring. Rosetta will become the first rookie to be promoted straight away from DTM and thus skipping GP2 since Renjian's in 2011, when he was promoted from DTM after winning the 2010 title to drive for Sauber, although that only lasted for 3 races. On top of that as well, he will also become the first Filipino to compete in the top class, and he will be looking to make an impression in his first ever season. He will replace Etienne Jones, who will not compete in the top class next season, having failing to put his name down in the sign-ups. The second and final team news for this week concerns Mercedes, as after much speculation, they have announced that 4-time world champion Florian Volker will remain with the team for another season. Florian has had an amazing first season at Mercedes despite the first half of the season not going according to plan. He currently lies second in the Drivers' Championship, 2 points behind championship leader Amar Kar, and his team Mercedes lead the constructors by 34 points ahead of his former team Ferrari. For a while, it was unknown whether Florian would be retained by Mercedes due to current championship leader and one of Florian's championship rivals, Amar Kar, putting Mercedes down as his number 1 choice. But after a recent run of good form which has put him right back into contention for a 5th world title, Mercedes felt that Florian had done enough to be retained for another season. Florian will be relieved to remain with the Silver Arrows for another season, and he will be looking to add a 6th world championship if he ends up beating his rivals and win the championship this year. With Florian being confirmed at Mercedes for another season, you would think that Amar Kar would be confirmed at Ferrari, right? Well, not quite, because despite leading the Drivers' Championship, there is a chance he could still get dropped by the prancing horse in favour of current Toro Rosso driver Laura Chung. If within these last few races Amar has a massive drop in form and Laura continues her impressive run of results that she has had, then there is a chance that Laura Chung, in a big swerve, could nab the Ferrari seat off of Amar. If that happens, then what would happen to Amar? Well, luckily for him, another team could come to his rescue, as he could end up doing a Jay McKenzie and end up at Renault next season alongside Evan Byrne. However, if that happens, then there would be a chance that if Jay McKenzie doesn't get the Red Bull drive, he could be out of a drive in 2019. It will be very interesting to see what will happen with these 3 teams for 2019 in these remaining few weeks. And that is it for this week's edition of the GP4OC News. The next team news will break at the United States Grand Prix next week, who will be announced due into practice next Monday at COTA.